I'm going to use this video just as a intro. So the reason that we started videoing this is we wanted to bring YouTube along with our adventures, and we wanted to capture our whole trip because I get a lot of people asking me how I travel with my wheelchair. So that was the reason behind why we were videotaping. I wasn't videotaping because I thought something was going to go wrong or I wanted insurance or whatever. It was simply for education purposes. So now I'll go to the video where we got placed right beside a window, which that window was overlooking where they loaded wheelchairs, strollers and whatnot. So it was perfect. And I was like, okay, Aiden, we're going to video this so people can see how they load the wheelchairs. P.S. If you want to watch the full video of how I transfer onto the plane into the seat, just go to my YouTube and this whole video is there, minus the loading of my wheelchair and the wrecking it. I just didn't know at the time if I should share it, but now it's been 2 years, it's fixed, so now I'm sharing my experience. Already, I knew that there was a problem. You don't get 4 grown men to lift this wheelchair on a conveyor belt, which you'll see is turned on. So as they're trying to lift my wheelchair, the conveyor belt's still on, so it starts taking pieces of my wheelchair off. You'll see as my fenders start going up the conveyor belt. See? Right there. And me and Aiden are watching this. I was in tears. I was mortified. And if you can see, they were all laughing about it, and they thought it was a great time. What they didn't understand, these are my hands and legs. This is how I get around. It's not just for fun. It's not for leisure. It's literally my lifeline. And they just think it's all fun and games, which I found out later, not all their fault because they get 0 training. WestJet did not have any training on this. They told us that later. And so, yes, they finally turned off the conveyor belt, and here they're trying to figure out how they're going to get it there. But they wouldn't even listen to us when we were saying, here's how you put the brakes on, here's how you release them. They would not take our advice. And so we noticed on the tarmac, pieces of my wheelchair were out there. So me and Aiden called over the attendants and I said, we are not lifting off until you make sure my wheelchair is inside and all the pieces are with it. And so the pilot actually ended up coming down as well. And because they said there was no more pieces, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I can literally see a piece. And so they went back down, got the piece. When we got back to Vegas, the piece we never got it, but apparently it got on the plane. But we lucked out in the sense that the pilot and the attendants also saw what happened, and they also agreed that that wasn't right. And so they also filed a complaint. So that helped with credibility. So this is what we got when we arrived. So my backrest wasn't even attached. My foot plates, which you'll see in a later picture, weren't actually put together like that. They were swung out both ways, so Aiden had to fix them. My fenders fell off. There was pieces missing, like you can see on that top part of the wheel. There will be a better video coming up, but each fender on the other side broke off and they broke, so we couldn't put them back on. And then you'll see in this last picture, the piece that was left on the tarmac. It'll be in the next one. Anyways, because of everybody's complaints, my complaint and the pilots and attendants, WestJet did end up paying for it, but we are still unhappy. There's some shots that we took in Vegas. But anyways, so after this trip, we decided I'm never taking that chair again because I don't want to risk it getting wrecked again. And then we found out just this year, WestJet has enforced a new rule where if your wheelchair is over 300 pounds, you cannot fly. They will not take your wheelchair. So I only got lucky because my boyfriend's grandma purchased a travel buggy chair that I'm able to maneuver by myself, which is lucky because I have the core strength for it and I can do it. But for other people that can't afford that or who are more disabled than me and can't function or hold themselves up in this type of chair, they don't have that ability. So now they absolutely cannot fly with WestJet if their wheelchair is over 300 pounds, which is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely discriminatory. And yeah, so we're just getting fed up. And just as we're making progress in the world with accessibility, with inclusion, we're taking 5 steps backwards. Here I'll show the video of the travel buggy that we got. And the next time we went to Vegas, that's what we used. I don't have very good videos of it, but here's the chair, and you'll see that I have a black strap around my legs. That's to hold my legs in because it doesn't really have very good leg support. And so, yeah, that's how I hold them in. Anyways, moral of the story, traveling has come so far, but has so much further to go. I'm blessed and grateful that I get to travel so much, but the world should just try to make it a little easier for us. We already have a hard enough life.